Mike's good?
They're good. Hello, everybody. This is ZealZaddy, and I'm Scott Coventry, the DM and storyteller of this campaign. This is Elixia, Box of Memories. It is the second season to last year's game, which I was calling Mists of Elixia, but this is really the same story. This is part 2. This is season 2, episode 6, entitled "In Mountains Sometimes Lost." You can follow ZealZaddy at everywhere @ or /ZealZaddy. That's ZealZaddy. Easy to remember. And that includes Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, Patreon, Linktree. Discord is there's a button down below. You can get to that in the About section. And we have tonight we have 3 players right now. The 4th we think will show up soon. So let's bring them on. All right. So why don't we start with Eslov? He looks most pumped because of his cool new shag.
I did get a new haircut. I showed off.
Yeah, baby. Yeah.
I got highlights. I got a cut. I spent 5 hours sitting in a chair. I got it all for $39.
Oh, that's a steal.
It is a steal. Always get amateur cuts, like by students. Anyway, I play Eslov, the Dragonborne Barbarian. By the way, my Dillon. Sorry, my routine is out of hair. I play Eslov. My name's Dillon. Next character.
All right. Let's go to Morgan.
What's up, everybody? It's me, Morgan. I am the founder of Untitled Mondays, a DM for hire group. Work with a bunch of DMs. If you are looking for somebody to run some games for you on a regular basis, give us a check at myplaymondays.com. I also have some cool stuff that just recently dropped yesterday. Our first episode to a podcast that we started, and everybody that's listened to it has told me great things about it. And I don't know if it's just because they like me or if they really like it. But you go check it out and you let me know if it's great or not. I'm playing Vesryn, who is the party's wizard and pompous noble. So, and as always, I'm just really excited to be here. I love playing with you guys every week. So, and that's my spiel.
And Tiffany.
Hi, I'm Tiffany. I play Cerridwen Sagewynd. She goes by Dwin. She's the bard of the party. I love playing with these guys. We got a great plot. We got a great story. We got stranded on a boat. This is fun. I also run my own campaign called Dungeon Damsels, and we're on YouTube and in podcast form. So if you want a Dungeons and Dragons campaign with strong women and things like that, then check us out.
And a guy playing a female character, so they're all strong female characters and mostly female players. All but one.
Yeah, I can't say to my husband, no, you can't play with us, even though you live with me. You just
Sure
have to
you
sit
can.
and watch. I was sit and watch us. You can't play. I was like, just be a girl. He's like, okay. That's fine. That's Ellie. Elendriel. Anyway. Scott.
All right. So you kind of alluded to the recap a moment ago when you said we're stranded in a boat.
Yeah.
That's kind of the recap.
We're not on a boat.
We're not on a boat. We're stranded on the ocean.
On the dinghy.
Standing there.
Pretty much, yeah. We got into the ship. We got on Omari's ship, and then the ship was basically attacked by a sea serpent. Oh, the Yohab Publishing Dragon Snake. I think it's what it was.
UO Publishing. I was like,
UO. Sorry,
UO. Underground Oracle.
I don't know how that's spelled, so I just wrote Yoa.
UO. It stands for It's Underground Oracle, but they do UO Publishing, and it is their Stormbreaker Dragon Snake, which I think is very cool.
Anyway,
I mean, you're not really at a level to really take it on directly, it's
It
just
wrecked the ship.
yeah, it's just.
While ignoring us.
Yeah.
I mean, you hit it a
Yeah.
couple times.
Yeah.
Well, we forgot to mention the whole reason why I attacked the ship was because when we landed at the first port, we had to get supplies and things to take north, which was whale blubber and everything like that. And we were trying to beat the storm. So in trying to beat the storm, they loaded things quicker and made things messy, which that is what leaked into the ocean and attracted the sea monster to come eat us or eat our ship.
Yes.
I didn't know it leaked into the ocean.
Yeah, it did. It was spilling over the side when it was being brought on some, and yeah, that's why it was. If things had been a little cleaner, maybe it wouldn't have happened.
Yeah.
And that you were in Coventry when you were doing that, getting all the supplies, and you loaded up the ship, headed out, and in a big storm, the sea serpent attacked the snake, and with its crushing body weight, broke the ship in half. The ship called the Daydream, Captain Omari's ship.
Yeah, we have Omari, 3 NPCs, and us.
Yes. And now you're floating in a boat in the middle of, on the edge of the Arctic. And the boat is about 2/3 of the way full of water from the Arctic Sea.
Okay, that's great. Okay,
We need to get this boat emptied of water as quickly as possible.
I'm still standing on the water behind the thing.
The boat got filled with water because it had turned over, and you had to roll it over. And when you did so, it pulled in a bunch of water.
okay.
So it's as freezing in the boat as it is in the water outside the boat at the moment.
Well, technically, we're all standing on the water. We're not in the water yet because we have water.
That's correct. You have some time with that before.
But I think Dillon was
gets
asking
rough.
if he's at the boat at this point, or if he's still out where he was raging.
He had come back to the boat at the end of the episode. He was heading back to it after his rage ended.
Right. What do we have to empty this boat as quickly as possible? Katamari, do you have any suggestions?
Very good.
And as you look around, you realize most of your supplies were on the boat. Most of your stuff was on the boat. In your staterooms. And can I get a con save from everybody except Eslov?
But none of us are wet.
You just hit me. Fair enough.
I'm not wet. Damn it. Oh yeah, because it's too cold, right?
It's an easy one. It's a
Freezing.
DC 10.
How many furs? How many furs do you think I'd be wearing?
Oh, I barely make it. I literally got a 10. I rolled an 8.
Nice.
I have a +2.
Oh.
I got a 10.
Eslov, you want to roll for Morcant?
Yeah, I will. What's his
His
modifier?
con? Well, let me see if his character sheet's been updated.
To be honest, it probably doesn't matter.
It hasn't.
15.
It has not. I looked. I was trying to see what spells he had.
I rolled an
It's a
18.
+1. Okay, so you're all good right now. So it is really freaking cold. And you know, it's not going to be easy to make it through this.
I literally just have my hand drum because that's just typically tied on her belt. So she's just gonna take your hand drum and sort of just try to dish it out.
There you go. That's
taking
useful.
A bowl, you know?
That's awesome. That's a bucket.
That's level. Is Vesryn noticeably cold? Is he shivering?
Oh yeah, everybody's shivering but you.
So he's gonna take off some of his furs, and he's just gonna plop them on top of Vesryn, just right on his head.
Thank you.
Don't drop those in the sea, please.
I'll do my best.
took a while to hunt that bison.
Anyone see a bucket floating out there?
Do I see a bucket rolling out of it?
Do we? Yeah, or anything that we might be able to use as a bucket, like anything shaped more. Bowl, even a barrel. We might be able to, if we can get a barrel, a couple of us can use the barrel to scoop it out and throw it out, throw water out.
There's a small barrel floating nearby.
I'll run over and grab that since we're water walking.
Yeah. And the boat has a couple of oars too, so it has 4 oars.
Right.
Which you can use to kind of. Huh?
The dinghy head.
Yeah.
Oars. Okay.
I'll tell Eslov the barrel, the little barrel, so you can use that, and I will see if there's anything else on the water while water walking is still working.
There's lots of flotsam and jetsam everywhere. There's all kinds of stuff. But you also, as you are above the water, occasionally you see something moving underneath the water, just this huge loop of scales.
Yeah.
And
I'll try to grab like 1 or 2 more things, and then I'll run back to the boat.
Okay. All right. So you get a small barrel, like a rum barrel sized barrel, and 2 small boxes.
And I would give them to whoever do it, and whoever's not able to do it, we'll have them wait and take shifts, so that way some of us can rest, because we need to keep our strength and energy up while we're freezing our butts off. So.
Yeah, I'm gonna are we dry yet? Because I know Vesryn, you did say prestidigitation on us, so I guess our feet would be wet in the water, but how dry am I?
You are, with prestidigitation, it will dry you here completely. It'll be wet, like you said, on the bottom of your feet. It'll still be cold, but you won't be as cold as if you were in the water.
Okay.
If
I take my Cloak of Winter and then put it on the NPCs, can I cover more than one with it?
It's really made to fit one.
How is Omar? Sorry.
Okay, well, I mean, she would still, put the cloak on someone. Probably Jacopo, because she put the most effort into saving him.
Yeah.
And he was injured still, too, right? I mean, you healed some of his wounds,
yeah,
but he was still injured.
He's still injured. I'm going to give him his cloak. Sorry.
Okay.
How is Omari looking?
Omari's looking cold, and she looks like she's gone, like she's internalizing it. Like she's just watching, she's not talking a lot.
I'll approach and I'll give her for 2. Can we just say 3 first to get up? So
Yeah, she seems to be looking out at the destruction and maybe looking for survivors or stuff that might be useful. It's hard to know.
I'm gonna walk up and I'm guessing she's not gonna pay attention to me because she's looking out. So I'll just go behind her, put the cloak over her shoulders. I'll pat her on the shoulder.
And she says, no, one of them. And she puts it on one of the other crew people.
In that case, I'll take the last fur that I have. I'll put it on another one.
Okay. So one Yakmo has the cloak from Cerridwen. The other 2 now have a fur.
Yeah.
Okay.
And he gave me one of his furs as well.
And now I'm basically bare chested.
Yeah. And it's cold for you. I mean, it's just not cold for like it is for them.
How's the boat looking? I mean, the dinghy at this point, really.
Yeah, you're emptying it out. It takes 20 minutes or so of just constant emptying to get it low enough that you can bring yourself into the boat and not be in the water.
Your cat has a lovely singing voice, Scott.
I know, she's driving me crazy. Between cats and dogs, oh, they're so noisy.
Once we get it low enough, obviously at some point, water. I think it was only 10 minutes. So at some point we are in the water. So once we do get it emptied out, I will again cast prestidigitation on everyone, one by one, to make sure they're no longer wet, to help reduce hypothermia and any frostbite and stuff like that from happening.
Yeah. So Brandon will not be able to make it tonight. So we'll see him next week.
Okay.
So should he be the first one that dies from hypothermia, do you think?
Can one of us kind of drive him so we can use his spell?
Sure. Of course.
Okay,
Who wants to drive him? He is in NPC mode, which means he's an NPC. I'll let any you can collectively drive him, like discuss his spells.
Okay.
If you want. If the problem is he's only got 3rd level spells,
Well, he did give us. I have his character sheet.
Oh, you do? Okay, cool.
I just don't have it on D&D Beyond.
Yeah, can you share that to the Discord for everyone?
It actually is in our missed players.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah, it was
so
there last week? Okay,
Yeah.
cool. All right, so that's good.
Trying to see what spells he has. He can purify the water.
Yeah.
That could be really important if you needed to drink it, which at some point that might be important.
Yeah. He did cast water walking, so he didn't use one of those. All right, so I'm marking that so that when it's been used. All right. So.
And then the spell comes off, and you all are now in the boat proper. And there's a lot of chattering teeth. Eslov, can you make me a perception check with wisdom?
With wisdom?
Yep.
I mean, it's already wisdom.
Oh, you're right. I was thinking intelligence. Right. Yep.
That'll be a 25.
Okay. So over the storm, you can feel as the boat is slowly drifting away from the wreckage, you can feel the storm is starting to pick up very slowly and subtly as you get further from the wreck.
Is there land nearby, like in sight at all?
You don't see any land, although you do recall seeing the God's lights in a direction that you can, with your survival, you could figure out which direction it is with a survival check. And you remember that the God's lights are always over land, or at least that's what you've been told and you've believed your whole life.
Okay. He'll address his party, Vesryn, Cerridwen. We need to gather as many people as we can on this boat and move to lights.
Sure. And then she kind of like looks around. I think this is it.
Yeah, you don't see other people. Most of the other people, if they went in the water, most people died very, very quickly.
I can only hope we'll find some on the way. In any case, we have to get moving.
She like pulls out the oars.
That's not the help, row.
Yeah.
There are 4 oars.
Not sure how useful it'll be with an oar. Perhaps, I mean, I can try, but...
Morcant says, I'll show you, Vesryn.
Okay.
Are you sure he wouldn't just sit there and start polishing it?
And Omari says, I'll take an oar, Vesryn. You rest because your arms will be needed when one of us begins to falter.
No, he'll talk to the...
Yeah, I'm sure Morcant would take an oar. He's playing in character for him.
Yeah, Morcant will.
I guess then I will rest I'll try to do a short rest while you guys are doing it. I don't know if I'll be able to get one in, but I'll try to rest while you guys are rowing.
Yeah.
Maybe try to get that spell back.
And
in the fight.
the waves as you're rowing, you can feel them. It's a very subtle thing, but they get higher. And it seemed like the waves were lesser around the center of the ship, where the ship had gone down. But the wind seemed to swirl around that center of destruction.
I mean, is that like normal weather, or is there maybe something else going on here? Like,
It's weather, but maybe the ship was in the eye of a storm or something. Who knows? Or is. And can I get strength checks from everybody that's rowing?
Oh no.
That'll be a check or a save.
do you still have your inspiration that he gave? Didn't he give you inspiration last?
I did.
Me?
It'll be
Yeah.
16 from each year.
If you want to use it, I'm not saying to use it, but I mean, if you want to.
I'll definitely use it. That's better. I guess a 1 versus a 19.
Yeah, and rowing is a really different kind of motion than you're used to. And you realize this is a lot harder than you would have thought after a while. But you get into the swing of it, and after Morcant shows you how to do it, you get a feel for how to move together with the person on the other side and maintain direction and keep the boat going. And Omari says, we may be rowing for a while to get to land from where we were. So we should go in shifts. There's 4 people not rowing, 4 people that are.
Right.
Yes. Sounds reasonable. Are we? How long are we thinking for these shifts? An hour? Hour on, hour off? Or are we going to go a couple hours? I don't understand how long we would normally do it, Captain Amari.
She says, maybe every hour or two, when the first one of the 4 begins to weaken too much, we should probably switch then. It would allow us to save each other's strength as long as we can.
Makes sense to me.
Alright.
I think the rest of us will rest over here while you guys row. Let us know when it's on turns.
Okay. Can I get a con save after the first hour of rowing?
Every so often, I will shoot well, ask Captain Amari if she wants me to send up like a flare.
Dice just needs a nap. Roll the
She
natural
may be-
1.
Because she knows he's
fire.
water.
I'm on fire tonight. That's 23. It's like my third roll tonight over 20.
And what'd you get, Morgan?
Oh, was I thought that was just for them rolling. Or is it for a con save? Okay, hold on. I rolled a 13 plus 2, so 15.
Okay. Anybody under attended? What'd you get, Cerridwen?
Like, is it a con save?
Yes.
It's a 3.
Ooh.
Oh, no. Oh, no.
Okay. So after the first hour, you're starting to feel like the cold is really getting you more than even you thought it would get you. And you kind of feel like your hands are starting to shake a little bit, and you can feel your teeth chattering pretty hard. And you almost want to like curl up into to get warmness. And one of the other people gives you a fur to warm up. And then who had the cloak? Yakmo actually takes the fur, puts the fur back, and gives you the cloak that will keep you warmer. Well, it will keep you from getting more cold, allow you to handle the cold better. And you're feeling it. You've not been in cold like this before, and you've been in cold, but not like this.
It's just how winter's been shiny or hard.
And 2 of the NPCs are also really hitting that point where the chilling effect on them is pretty great, and they, after that first hour or so, they're like, we should start rowing. Maybe the movement will warm us.
Yes. I'll trade out with Cerridwen.
Okay. And you just rotate.
Yeah.
Well, I will say this, during that first hour, I would ask Captain Amari if she wants me to send up flares every so often, just to see if anybody will come, or if it's too dangerous to do that. Like, I don't know what kind of vessels will be out in this part of the water, so I'd ask her, I'd consult her before launching it.
And she tells you it would be a waste of your spells. We were the only vessel that comes this far out. And if it's not us, it would not be friends.
Well, with this type of magic I'd use, it wouldn't necessarily tax me too heavily. I'd just use firebolts in the air, you know.
Then everything is worth an attempt. Then, if you feel it would be safe.
Yes. So I would, every so often, I'd launch a firebolt up in the air during that first hour, and then, you know, just kind of like see if anything happens to see it and maybe come to us.
Okay. All right. And you switch out, and you're still riding, and the waves are getting higher, and it's getting harder to row against them. You really have to put extra muscle into them. And the least muscly 4 are actually in there now.
Can I use my bardic inspiration to inspire the NPCs?
They probably have a higher strength than me.
They what?
So they probably have a higher strength than me.
They're gonna need all the help they can get for their con save.
This is true.
Sure.
This is true. This
Sure.
is true.
It's a good idea.
I have 3, and I'll give out all 3 to the NPCs.
Okay.
For their con.
Are we doing con saves or are we doing strength checks right now?
Right now, they're going to do strength checks to see how far they're moving. Oh. And Omari?
Oh, natural 17 for a total of 17.
Damn, those 3 kicked ass. They did really well. Okay. Their strengths are holding up, and they're powering through the waves. And after another hour, they hit their second hour, and the waves begin to diminish, and the storm rolls away from you. And in the distance, you see lights on the horizon, the gods' lights moving along, and every now and then you see what you think might be peaks of mountains on the horizon, land.
Beautiful.
Best land. The most beautiful thing I've ever seen.
Eslov, what are all those lights? Those are gorgeous, actually.
I still actually know what they are.
They're the gods' lights.
I mean,
No, you don't know what they actually are. You don't understand that they're part of the magnetic pole of the planet.
he'd probably just say, where I'm from, we call those the God's lights. They only ever appear on, and that's why I knew travel this way.
Makes sense.
All right, can I get con saves from everybody?
Yep, my luck has run out. That's Nate.
Dude, I'm on fire right now. And these things are not my best rolls, but I just got a nat 20, so I will take it. I'm scared shitless of these con rolls.
That's a 12.
All right. Anyone got under a 10, you can tell that they're actually of the group.
Should someone roll for Morcant too?
Yes, someone please roll for Morcant.
I got a sheet up. I'll roll for him. Let's see here. Page 1, he has a +1 for a save. Oh, he got an exactly a 10. I rolled a 9, he has a +1, so 10.
Right. So all 3 of you made it. All 4 of you made it then, right? Eslov, did you make it?
I did not make it. I very much did not make it, unless an 8 makes it.
An 8 doesn't. No, you needed a 10. So that's the first one you've missed. So the cold is starting to finally get to you. You're the last one. You and actually one of the NPCs is the last one to start feeling the effects pretty hard. But some of them, you can tell they're slowing down. Like their ability to row and keep pushing is waning, and you can tell that they're not going to be able to row much longer. Now it's the end of their rowing time anyway, so
I'll jump back in. So,
and they bundle up close to each other, and all the 4 of them, and they let you take your turns, and the waves begin to lessen a little bit. So the strength checks aren't as important anymore. You know that it's just a matter of time at this point before you'll eventually hit that land. But there are flows, like ice flows, floating along the water, and you're starting to see big chunks of ice. And occasionally you'll see, a seal or something in the distance, far away, like they don't come close. So you can tell that, they are normally around the land in some way, unless they're migrating, and this is not when they would be migrating. You know that. You would know that, Eslov. And you row for another couple of hours. Can I get con saves from everybody again?
Okay.
Wow, that was impressive.
Right. My luck has come back. 24.
I got a 10. Exactly a 10 again.
Roll for Morcant.
Me or you?
I'll roll for Morcant. Sure. Oh, he's doing great. He got a natural 19. I got an 8.
So that's your second missed one, right?
Yeah.
All right. So your speed is halved at this point, and you have disadvantage on ability checks.
Okay.
I will take the fur that Eslov gave to me, and I will put it around her as well, hoping that maybe that'll warm her up a little bit while she's resting.
Yeah.
To try to help get some of that back. I don't know if it will, but I'm trying to. So she's got her cloak and a fur on. Maybe that'll help.
Yeah. And you row and row and row, and eventually you see the shoreline in the not in the distance anymore, starting to get closer, and you can see that there are mountains that are wrapping the edges of this area. Eslov, make me a perception check, please.
Perk check.
Just check.
13.
Okay. So you all are rowing, and the ice is, you realize you're kind of floating between pieces of moving ice that are pretty big. And it becomes kind of perilous trying to get closer to the land, because they start to lock up and get thinner little troughs between them. And you realize there's danger even in trying to get in, because they're moving, and they would just crush the ship if they closed on you. And Omari says, look for the ones that are opening, not the ones that are closing. Eslov, since you're kind of at the most functional, can you make me a perception check and see if you can recognize, or you could use a survival check. I'd let you do whichever one you have better at.
Well, if it's a survival, then it's 24. It's
Okay.
Perception, 18.
Okay. So you can, when you're rowing, you start to get a feel for the movement, and you can start to pick the places out where you know, because the waves make them kind of come together and then they come apart, and you find places where they start to come apart. And the boat ends up going through this trough between them that ends suddenly on a piece of ice that goes endlessly to the land. And you realize that's as far as you can go on the boat. Can I get con save from everybody?
Oh, the truth.
I finally failed one.
Pulled through. I got a natural 20.
There's another,
Nice.
I rolled for Morcant, and he failed as well.
Okay.
So I failed my first one. I think Morcant failed his first one.
10 exactly.
You see that one of the NPCs, 10 exactly. What did Morcant failed?
His first failure, and this is my
And your first failure. And Cerridwen is still only on her. She's on her second.
Yeah.
And two of the NPCs, Omari being one, and one of the other NPCs, you can see that there's like a blueness in their lips and the tips of their fingers, and they're trying to stay warm, but the cold is just ripping through. And what do you do when you get to the shore? To the ice shore.
Eslov is really trying to keep partying.
Eslov, can we get this boat, or at least parts of this boat, onto the island? Obviously, we need to create a fire. I can make a fire with my magic, but I need wood. Until I can get a full rest and create new spells, the only way I can do it is through some spells that I have available at the moment.
Let's get this boat on the... Yeah.
First, we need to get the people off.
Yeah, so if we get everybody to the shoreline away from the ice, then we can set up something. And maybe even use part of the boat, tip it on the side to prevent wind from hitting us.
And we'll make some sort of shelter with half the boat, and then use the other half for fire.
Yes.
Oh yeah, Eslov will do like a fireman's carry of as many people. And then he doesn't want to set them on the ice because it's going to chill them any more than they already are. How far away is like the island?
You figure you could walk the ice, and you're probably maybe a mile or 2 miles out from the actual land. I mean, this is pretty normal. It ends up being this frozen ice along the shoreline that is potentially walkable.
Okay, well.
Perhaps we have Morcant cast water walk on all of us once more in case the ice does give way. And then we drag the boat. And this way, if the ice breaks underneath us, we don't sink into the murky water below.
Yeah, sounds like a good idea.
Idea, Morcant. Caleb?
He can. That will be his last of spell for that level. So, yes. All right. He will cast Water Walk, I guess, on everybody that's here, the whole group.
Okay.
And this way, if the ice does give away while we're dragging the boat across, we don't sink. We can just keep walking.
Yeah. For 10 minutes.
Yeah. Well, that should be enough to get us a mile in.
It'll get, yeah. Well, you're assuming that people
pretty
can
close.
walk at that speed.
Yeah.
There's
Well, close enough.
There are 3 NPCs whose speed is halved, and
Mine have.
Cerridwen's is halved. So.
Yeah. Can I, like, gather the NPCs under my arms and try to warm them?
And maybe warm yourself with them.
Yeah. You know, just, I mean, she's got, like, 2 cloaks and a fur, so she's just gonna, like, take her big arms and, like, just hold them.
Yeah. Yeah, you can
That's really just
carry a
scoot
couple,
across
sure.
the ice.
Yeah, so how are you getting everybody out of the boat? Like, just, there's not really an anchor. There's no way of locking it onto the ice. You just have to kind of jump or slide up on it.
Oh. we
and
have
it is
water
slick.
walking, so we can.
Oh, you're
go
right.
just walk
You're right.
it
I
up.
forgot about that. I already forgot about that. So you jump up and walk on it.
Yeah.
All right. So what are you going to do? So you're going to drag the boat up onto the ice. And
Everybody
drag
who's
it.
capable. Everybody who's capable will be pulling the boat, which should be most of us, except for the ones that are halved.
Do we have any rope? Because if we have rope, I want to see if I can tie a rope to the boat, keep the people in it for now, and try and drag it.
There's rope in the boat.
Okay, well, I'm going to try and do that then. And maybe I can have like Morcant or something help me.
Well, I would say Morcant and me are both helping you. So.
Yeah. Morcant?
Just so we don't have to like carry them and the boat, carry them in the boat.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, carry them in the boat. Okay.
All right.
And we can also somebody pushing the boat. Actually, it might just be easier to push the boat.
Well, how about, me and you could pull it and Morcant could be pushing from behind while everybody and I guess whatever the NPC is, I think there's one that isn't messed up yet, right? You said 3 of them were, but not the 4th.
Yeah, the Yakmo he's still messed up. He's not as messed up as the other 2.
So he can help push with Morcant in the back while you and I pull the front.
Definitely.
And maybe we can get this thing moving a little bit quicker that way.
Yeah, so you collectively you're definitely capable with pulling the boat up.
Ooh.
So when they have to get out of the boat for you to pull them up. So you got to, they walk out onto the ice, you pull the boat up, and then if you want to put them in, you can do that, and you can drag the boat. The ice is smooth and it's flat. There is some snow on it, but it's not real hard to drag the boat on the ice, as long as it stays icy. Can I get a wisdom check from Vesryn, Cerridwen, everybody except Eslov, actually.
Man, I already rolled for it, and I rolled so well, and I was so ready.
And Morcant use guidance on someone?
If you haven't rolled yet, I already rolled for me. So if you want to roll for you, yeah, he can cast guidance on you. Morcant got, let me look at this. I got wisdom check, right?
Yes.
I got a 17. Morcant rolled I want to say pretty high, actually. Yeah, wow. He rolled an 18 plus 4, so.
Okay.
22?
I got a 11.
Okay. Anyone who rolled under a 10, you're okay there, Cerridwen. You hear this horrible cracking sound when you stand on the ice. It's like, and it's really scary sounding, and you realize your weight is making this sound. Like your step makes this sound. The ice holds, but a couple of the NPCs, they just freeze where they are. They just stop moving.
Relax. We have water walking. Even if the ice breaks, you'll be fine.
They're still afraid, but they move on, but they're really nervous about it. Anyway, if you ever walked on frozen ice, which I've done, it freaks the shit out of you because it makes these horrible cracking sounds like you're going to fall into the ice. It's amazing and awful.
I picture Vesryn when he's saying that, like he's like, oh shit, and then he realized, okay, got water walking. We're okay, guys, we're okay. I picture it's not like, hey, it's more like, yeah.
Yeah.
So he's trying to more reassure himself than them.
And you start, the 4 of them, the 3 of them, Mario help pull, and whoever needs to will get in the boat, and the rest will drag the boat. Who's pulling the boat? Who's carrying people or doing whatever you're going to do? What's the order and process?
I think what Eslov and what Dillon and I were saying was him and I will pull Morcant and Jacobo will push while Dwin and the others rest inside the boat.
Yep.
Since they're at half speed.
Huddling. Conserving warmth.
So, Dwayne, you're in there warming up. Can I get you are able to pull the boat along because of the ice. You'll get a mile in 20 minutes. So you're halfway across. Every step the ice creaks and cracks, and it is really disconcerting to hear it. But it holds up that whole mile, like the whole half the distance. Oh, by the way, thank you, Lumion and Monmouth Music for the follows. Very nice of you. And Judge Judy Slayer. God, 3 nice follows already right off the bat. That's cool.
Thank you.
And the boat, as you're pulling it, like leaves this trail. The boat actually is pretty heavy. It's not like modern boats made of aluminum. It's all wood, heavy beams that are bent with, they're made wet to bend the wood, and like they're just weighty. But the ice is your friend at this point. You get that full mile, and can I get con saves from everybody? Those in the boat are at advantage, except 2 of the NPCs who are not. Oh wow. Okay.
That's 12
Okay.
with advantage.
Morcant got a 19. I got a 5. So I failed number 2.
Yeah, so your speed is halved to 2 now. And you can feel the cold is really just getting through.
I think now we're off the ice. This is where we should set up camp.
Yes, we desperately need to stop moving.
And you're halfway across the ice.
Oh, I thought you said we were across. Oh shit.
No, halfway. It was a mile.
Do they need to make strength checks? Are there any checks involved in this?
They have not made strength checks. They've been making con checks. They're strong enough to pull the boat. Con saves, I mean.
Con saves, okay. I was like, my enhanced ability would not be useful.
Yeah, we have 2 options here. We can keep pushing and hope nobody freezes to death. We can stop. All of us get in the boat and huddle up and try to get warmth for a little bit. That's the only 2 options I see. Unless one of you have a different idea.
Just get in the boat.
I mean, we got 4 or 5 people at this point that are half speed, and we still have a mile to go.
I thought we already made it to the island.
Yeah, I thought it too. I thought it was a mile out. It's 2 miles.
Oh, fuck.
Yeah.
All right, well, I got kind of a weird idea. So she did have the sword on her. So she's going to take out the long sword and then, plant it in the ice. And then I'll cast heat metal on the sword. And be like, right, well, we'll have a little bit of warmth for a little bit.
Oh, that's interesting.
Isn't it?
You
might be able to fish, too.
I mean, it'll make a hole for sure, but...
We can get fish. Eslov is kind of...
And you cast heat metal on it, and it gets searing hot, and everybody that's there just huddles around the sword for the... How long is the duration on that?
A minute.
Okay. They'll take that 1 minute.
Yeah.
Eslov is gonna... Sorry.
Go on. Nope, go on.
He's gonna, walk off to where, people can't really see him anymore, strip down to his undergarments, and then dive in the water to go fishing.
It's still really cold in there.
Yep. But he knows those people need food.
But there's other ways to fish, man. I would try to stop you. She's got a hole right here.
What way do we have? What options do we have in fishing?
We might have some string. You can put some stuff here.
I mean,
You diving in that water, Eslov, it's only going to... You diving in that water is not going to keep us alive. It's going to kill you, and then we're going to be one man
far
short.
worse, and you know it.
No, I don't.
You've seen me.
I've not seen
Far
you dive
worse.
into something this cold. Captain Amari, please talk to him.
They need to eat. They need to eat Vesryn.
We have... I'm sure I have
And
some
if I
lessons
die,
on
they
me.
can eat my cold, dead body. And then with that, he dives in.
He dives in.
He dives in.
He dives in.
He's going in. All right. Make me a con save as soon as you hit that water fully immersed.
8.
Oh yeah, that's a. How many did you miss before?
I missed 1.
Okay, so you hit it and you realize how cold that is, and I mean you've done it before, like as part of rituals and coming of age stuff up here, and you know though that the movement can help. It is cold, you know you can't stand very long, but getting in there can, you know. What weapons? You have just your axe?
He has his hands. But he's going to go and find where the sword is planted into the ice. Because he knows the fish are going to be curious. They're going to be kind of huddling under that glow. And he's going to try and see if he can catch something large enough to feed enough people like that.
Let me see if there is anything. There are some small fish that come around. Nothing really, like, big enough to feed much. Maybe it could feed a person. The smaller fish.
Better than
Each.
nothing. Kind of maybe like
Make
we'll
it-
see how many
yeah.
I can catch.
Yeah. Make me an attack roll. And let's see there. Okay.
21.
Yeah. You can get 3 fish, enough to feed probably 3. That's all the fish that seem to even be around under there.
He'll come back up, gasping for.
Vesryn will immediately be at the hole trying to pull him up out of the ice and hitting him with precipitation because I know it's not going to help with the cold, but at least get the water off of him.
Yeah.
And he'll like
Morcant
weakly
said.
hand the 3 fish to Vesryn for the weakest.
Okay. Dwin, maybe you know what to do with this. I'm not specialized in dealing with fish, so...
Give it to them raw, he said.
She's just like
We
looking
don't have
at the
time.
fish, and she's just like, oh. How big is this fish?
They're, 8 inches long.
8-inch fish?
You can feed 2 people. 1 person gets each fillet.
Yeah, maybe. I mean, it won't be a big meal, but sure.
Have to
Yeah.
keep
Maybe.
for at least
And-
another hour.
I mean, you could probably cook them against the metal of the sword. No, it doesn't last long enough. That's true.
Yeah, and
That's
it's
true.
really hot, so just burn it.
Yeah.
You sear it.
They put it on the highest temperature.
So that's what you do.
Ooh.
That's what you do with fish ends. You sear it.
Yeah.
Okay. Can I can I try to break off part of the boat and then part of the top of the railing of the boat, that little wooden lip, try to break that off and then wrap rope around it and then try to light it on fire with the heat of the metal.
You could do that even better with an oar.
Oh, cool. All right, I'm gonna take an oar and I'm gonna wrap a rope around it and be like, well, and she's just gonna poke the sword.
Yeah.
What happens?
And it lights. You're able to get it to heat up, and suddenly there's fire, and everybody wraps around it except one person who stays in the boat.
I check on the individual staying in the boat.
And he has frozen to death.
Oh, it's one.
Captain Amari, we've lost one.
And she comes over and Morcant, can you give words that will set their soul off? And she sits, kneels to him and seems to be praying or something for a moment.
Well,
We should-
he does. I mean, he has a prayer book and a censer if he didn't lose those in the water.
He probably does not have. He's got his. The prayer book almost surely didn't make it because he would have carried it out on deck with him. Yeah, I don't think he would have it.
Eslov is going to get up, and he's going to try and start building insulating shelter out of like snow.
Okay.
And
I
But
don't know.
he's at this
Omari.
point,
Oh, go on. Sorry.
at this point he's really exerting himself, like overexerting himself.
I don't know if this. Oh, okay. Is the list below Morcant's file the ones he has prepared?
You're talking about the spell list?
Yeah.
The ones that are on his things, those are the ones he has prepared, yeah. The things that he has listed on there, those...
Okay.
He's used Water Walk twice, so his third level spells are out of the picture right now.
We can. I'll use Healing Word to see if that helps anyone.
And Omari says, even with the fire, though, we should really get off the ice if we can. We won't find a place to warm ourselves beyond the length of the fire.
Right. Well, then, at this point, everybody should be up moving and dragging the boat. If we're moving, your bodies will stay warmer than if you're sitting still.
Maybe we'll let's move as much as we can around let somebody hold whoever's the weakest at the moment, hold the fire out for the rest maybe. And then we can all use the warmth from it for as long as we can.
I mean, I could probably, if we want to make some torches from the parts of the boat, I can set them ablaze, and that would give us extra flames.
We have more oars.
Yes. This may sound terrible, Captain Amari, but perhaps the man who has died, we take some of his clothing to wrap around the oars to make them last a little bit longer. It's going to do us more than him at this point.
I agree with that. We need to keep as many alive as we can.
And I would take the time to I'd give whoever it needs the fur that was on him, I'd take it and put it on whoever else needs it at this point.
Yeah.
And then I would light some of the oars on fire with it and hand it to two people that seem to be the coldest.
Yeah. Well, the coldest are Olmari and the other NPC, not Yakmo. Actually, Yakmo and the other one are at the same level. Olmari's actually worse off than they are. But Olmari won't take it. Olmari's like, we'll get
Captain
to the shore,
Amari,
okay?
we need you alive. If you want to lead your people, your survivors, and us, we need you at your fittest. You're doing us a favor by holding that and staying alive.
And she says, I'll hold it. Let's move. I don't want to be out on this ice for long.
Eslov would kill me if I let anything happen to you, so let's keep moving.
Eslov's still building. There's a little hut of snow.
All right. And
Eslov, you know that on the ice, you can build something that will give you some shelter, but it's more against the wind when you're out here than it is from the ice cold. It helps.
Eslov's a little delirious right now. He's not really thinking.
He's at that
Eslov, we need to
point.
keep moving. Captain Amari says we need to keep moving.
It's
Are you
only,
talking to?
it's
I said
only,
that to you.
it's only a short distance.
No, we have to stay here. I have to build this.
No, we have to keep moving.
No,
Captain
no,
Mari says the ice will kill us.
I gotta build. I have to build this. Vesryn.
The Eslov.
He's kind of
Your
like
companions are telling you we need to move. You may be able to stay out here, but we can't. We need you to move with us. We need your strength.
he's just stuttering.
Grab this. I hand him the rope and I tell him, drag, move, let's move. I'm trying to get him to focus on a task.
And he'll grab it.
Let's go.
And you all pull that last mile and make me another con save as you put foot to shore.
Can I choose to fail this?
Why would you want to choose to fail this?
I feel like it'd be interesting. Because he's overworking himself. He's overstepping his limits purposefully to try and provide. But if you're gonna make a roll,
How many of you failed so far?
I haven't rolled. I have a question. If you're on the boat, do you still get the advantage?
You get yes if you're in the boat.
Okay, I would let the NPC stay in the boat.
Oh, let me re-roll 2 of theirs.
if you do want me to,
16.
Morcant got a 13. I got an 18. So.
Okay. So you're all okay at that point, except Eslov, who's delirious from the cold.
well, it's more so because he's exhausted. So
Yeah. How far have you gone down? How many did you miss before the one you just missed?
2.
I think it was 2. Yeah.
So you're now at 3. Okay.
You're hurting.
And you all plant foot on snow, but you can feel there's something crunchy under there, like grass or something, or stone, or sand.
immediately he's gonna go try and find some sort of tree to chop down.
Stop,
You don't see any
Eslov,
trees.
Stop. Stay here. We have wood right here. We drug this onto the land for this purpose. Please.
he doesn't see any trees, but he starts walking.
Stop. We have trees right there. And I point to the boat.
Just gonna go over and
We need your axe. Start chopping the boat.
she's so
tree.
tired, but she's just
Need a
gonna
tree.
go and
That's where
hug
we need wood.
Eslov. Don't go. We have wood.
And he'll turn around, but he's muttering to himself about wood and fires and some strange.
As soon as we can break off enough wood and maybe snap those oars, throw them down, and I will light them with fire, with firebolt. Poof.
I'm just stopping Eslov from leaving at this point. She's just
Yeah, I mean he's not he's very weak right now. He cannot get past you.
Yeah, I mean
he
she just doesn't have
tries to.
right here.
He's stumbling. It's pathetic at this point.
It's just yeah, she's just using her body weight to stop you from moving because that's all she can do right now.
I mean, he's even dragging his axe behind him, having it on his shoulder or anything.
Where's the wind coming from? Perhaps we can get the boat at an angle to block some of the wind.
The wind is coming from the north.
All right.
We'll have Morcant help you with the boat.
Oh my
He's
god.
still sane, so.
Your fingertip freezes. The
Are we sure that he's sane? Has Morcant ever been sane? He talks about fishing.
I'm not sure.
Way too much for him to be sane.
That is true. He does go overboard with the armed fish thing. And as you pull the boat on, and the fire is starting to go down on the oar. And one of the NPCs doesn't get out of the boat.
Ah, no.
Another one was the dust.
So now there's Yakmo and Omari, and both of them are in pretty bad shape at this point too.
Get near the fire, please.
And they go near the fire. Omari starts digging snow away from an area to try and make a warmer spot. And you find that there's just sand here in this area under the snow.
I will. You're gonna laugh at me, but I will literally firebolt whole area around the fire so where it's the snow and ice or whatever right around it is melted away to make room for people to be able to sit in a more warmer spot.
Yeah, and you clear the snow. It's a good place maybe to put a fire from the boat.
Yeah.
Boat wood.
I will, like I said, Vesryn, since he's still somewhat, he's only failed twice, he will work his ass off to make sure everybody is set up around the fire. He will get Morcant to help get the rest of the boat put in a way to block the wind, and then as soon as that's done, he just collapses down near the fire and just like probably falls unconscious at this point because he's exhausted.
Can you make me a survival roll, please?
Cerridwen, at this
10.
point.
I mean, unless somebody's helping me, that's all I got. I mean, Morcant was helping, but I don't know if that counts as anything.
How many of you failed, Cerridwen?
Did I roll survival?
No, I'm asking you, how many of you failed? How many
2.
con saves? Okay, so you're cognizant enough to realize that Vesryn, the way he made the fire, it's not going to last long and burn well. And you probably need to fix that.
Alright, she's just gonna try to say, look, we got a fire, we gotta fix the fire, and then she's just gonna try to push Eslov back.
And Omari walks over to Eslov. Eslov, come have some warmth. The fire will help.
And when Omari says that's what we go.
And she sits next to it.
And he just falls next to the fire.
Yeah, and you're in kind of a little pit that protects you partially from the snow. And the fire burns, and
can I try to fix the fire?
Yeah, you can fix fire. Make me a survival check.
Okay. I've been rolling like garbage today, so I'm gonna
Change your dice. Change your dice.
I have! I've gone through 4! I'm gonna use enhance ability on myself.
Okay, do it.
He'll hand someone his axe, and it'll be like, use the wood.
Okay. That is a 23.
Oh, so you get the wood right. You know that you're going to need more wood after a couple hours, but this will be enough to warm you up some and maybe save everyone's lives. At this point, get past the delirium a little.
Yeah.
And after everyone sits for a bit, you see the crack of light on the horizon. And you know that it'll be dawn soon.
Cerridwen would pull people into a cuddle puddle even though they're unconscious just for more warmth.
Yeah.
And then she would stay up long enough for someone else to keep watch.
I think Morcant would use one shatter on a part of the boat, so that way we can get more wood to keep the fire going.
How many con saves has he failed?
He only failed, I think, 1.
Okay.
Yeah.
He only.
I think it's
Yeah.
only 1.
Yeah, he can do it then. No problem.
Okay, well, if Morcant's gonna keep watch, Dwin's gonna just go to sleep.
Yeah. And, the nice thing is the wind is dying down a little bit. It's not as cold from the wind on top of it. The sun slowly rises, and the warmth from the sun and the fire helps. And everyone gets a return of 1 lost con roll.
Yay.
But it takes almost all morning to get that.
I'll be able to get a full rest in.
Nope, not here. It's the
Can we get
warmth
a
will get
short
you a
rest?
short rest.
Okay, I got my inspiration.
I need a long rest so I can change out my cantrips. So
Eslov, make me a perception check.
I'm trying to get bonfire and a control flame.
Eat.
Okay.
Eslov's delirious. He's not like delirious anymore, but he's still too exhausted to be fully aware.
Yeah. You could choose to rest turn this into a long rest. I mean, it's possible somebody will have to tend the fire and add some more wood, but you do now have more wood.
At some point, he'll break the handle off his axe and hand it to whoever's tending to the fire.
You don't need to. We have wood. We have a pile of wood.
Do we have enough wood?
Yeah, you have a whole boat worth.
Kind of cool we ran out.
You have a whole boat's worth.
I don't know.
Quit trying to get rid of your axe.
I think it's cool. I think it's a cool moment.
We may need that axe in a minute.
I'm not going to manufacture it. All right.
And so are you going to do the short rest and start traveling more inland or along the coastline or something? Or are you going to do a long rest and just try and warm up more? If you do a long rest, you'll be hitting nightfall soon after.
Vesryn would ask for a long rest, but this isn't his element. This is be more of like yours and Amari's, like what you guys think would be best.
Same with Dwayne. She'd just be like, hi.
I mean, everybody's exhausted. We're down spells, but if it's more dangerous to wait.
I would say now is the time to. We're not going to have wood forever.
Yeah, but we have wood for now, and then we can't take it with us, really.
Well, how long? How much wood do we have? How long do we think?
You would make it through a whole night if you needed to.
Oh, okay. Never mind.
But then you would have none.
Mm-hmm. That's true. We could probably break it down and people can carry some. So if we want to move further in, we could do that too.
I mean, there's
We also need to find food.
Eslov,
Yeah.
what do you know? I mean, you've lived closer to here than any of us. Like, is it safe to travel in the evening? Should we travel now, move further in, and then try to camp for the night? What are your survival instincts up here telling you?
I feel in my bones that we need to get off this beach.
Then let's get off this beach.
okay.
Spells can wait.
I don't want to do it any more than you do.
No, you know better. So, I think everybody should grab as much wood as we can muster, and then move in.
Yeah, we can use the rope on the what's left of it to bundle it up.
Yeah. You could cut the rope to make, smaller pieces to make bundles that are easier to carry. Sure.
I imagine that there's not enough wood at this point for Eslov to open. So
If we spread the wood around.
Yeah, you could spread it around, but Eslov could carry a lot if he wanted.
Yeah, so could Dwayne.
Yeah, Dwayne and both of you can carry a lot.
I can carry a lot too. Not really.
You can carry one lot.
I can carry a lot. Yeah.
Eslov, where are you taking them?
mostly inland.
Inland? Okay.
Perpendicular. Just to go straight as inland as possible.
Okay. And as you start going in the day, you see there are mountains in the distance, but they seem to encircle the land here. So you're almost in like a valley between all these mountains.
Have I ever seen these mountains?
Make me a history check.
I'm good at history. The 13, Chief. Not right now, all I'm streaming.
You don't recognize the
Sorry
mountains,
about that.
but at some point through the day, you notice that there's like a slight blue tinge in spots to the snow.
Never thought I'd be back here again recently. He does say that aloud.
You've been here.
Don't know by now how far north we've gone.
I do now.
Should we be worried?
Yes,
Should we be quiet?
probably.
What kind of things do we need to be worried about up here?
Things bigger than us.
Like what? I'm just curious. Like what are we looking for here?
You'll know when you see them.
And can I get a con save from everybody as you travel through the
I'm
day?
only being vague to get that.
I like it.
Possible.
Okay.
That is
Can
a
I-
natural one, Chief.
Can I want to do another round of Bardic Inspiration for the NPCs.
Oh, okay.
Because I got those back. And then
Oh.
I'll also inspire. Does anyone want inspiration? Okay,
Yeah.
Vesryn wants it. You may have it. I cannot inspire myself, so you have inspiration, so you can add a D8.
Okay. And I'm going to need that D8. Okay. Roll a 6. That puts me at 13.
I got a 14.
Okay, good. Eslov?
Natural one.
A natural one. Nice. So that puts you at... You got one back, so you're
I wish
back
I could roll for like,
3.
Morcant like myself. Jesus. I rolled a natural 18 for Morcant. So he got a
And-
19 total.
And as you're traveling, you feel the wind coming down from the mountains, and it's intensely cold because it's hard. And you remember that there were ice caves at some point in a lot of the mountains that would probably give some shelter. Although you also remember that any shelter is a risk of something defending it as a place to live. So, but getting out of the weather is probably as imperative as the shelter, as the risk of of getting shelter.
And once again, back in that state that
Yeah,
he'll start talking like,
mumbly.
you need to find food. You need food. Shelter. You need trees.
And
I have to go find a tree.
And oddly,
There's
you
trees.
do feel hungry. You don't see any trees. And you do feel hungry, though. And you're realizing maybe he's right about the hunger part. And the trees part.
Can I see any signs of wildlife?
You haven't seen any wildlife other than out on the ice, a seal or two.
There's nothing here. And there's no, like, vegetation. It's just tundra.
It's tundra, which means there is vegetation, but it's like grasses and stuff.
Yeah, I think that won't give us nutrients.
Well, not much. It might make you sick too, but
Yeah.
you know.
He's very sluggish right now. He's walking a lot slower.
Did Eslos, I know you were saying something about the food, but did you say anything about the caves?
No, he was talking about caves. He was muttering to himself about a lot of things. you would have gleaned that there are caves somewhere on the side.
Okay.
Eslov, did you say there's caves?
Caves, but that bears sometimes. We have to find a cave. Food,
There's
maybe.
a food, yes.
All right.
There's a food.
We need trees.
Tree.
And wood.
Okay.
We have wood. We need
More wood.
meat.
We need more wood.
Well, we can get to a
Gotta
cave,
find
then we
trees.
can...
And he just keeps doing that.
And as you're walking, and he's leading you, straight north. You eventually do, as you get nearer and nearer to the mountains. There's still no forest that you see, but you come across for the first time some tracks that cross here, and they seem to be kind of like they kind of remind you of maybe a fat version of Awok.
He immediately tries to start following.
What?
He immediately tries to start tracking.
Ho ho ho, okay.
What
Dwin
are those tracks? What are those?
Dwin will stop and be like, "What are these tracks?"
Do I know? Do I just know that it's a bird?
It's a bird. You can tell it's a bird of some kind. You're just not sure what kind exactly.
Bait.
But big, like, bigger than a penguin.
All right.
He just says meat.
Okay. Just gonna turn to Vesryn. All right, Vesryn, you and me will go chase this bird. Then we'll have some food.
Let's do it then. Is Eslov staying here, or is he coming with us?
Well, I don't think he's in any state to hunt. And then are you just like? Is he like, you see him? There's like a camera pan to him, muttering to himself still.
And he's like sampling the tracks. He's like smelling them.
Makes sense. All right, let's go then. I'll follow your lead, Gwen.
Okay. All right, so I will try to follow the track.
So everyone's following the tracks. Make me your roll, your survival roll.
My survival? No, that's good. Okay, that's a 19. Woo.
Oh, nice. Good roll. They're heading towards the mountains, but a little bit, not straight north, but maybe a little bit off to the east.
Okay, gonna go northeast.
And as you're traveling, you're seeing that the tracks are becoming less deep as you track them.
Is that because there's less snow, or because the weight's changing somehow?
No, it looks more like the snow is slowly filling them in. Like maybe it's moving faster than you. So there's more time, more space between you and it, and you're not gaining on it, you're losing on it at the pace you're going.
Okay. I think we're gonna lose it at this race. And she's like, Morcant, just make sure Eslov doesn't do anything crazy, I guess. She's like, Vesryn, you and me, let's go ahead and try to catch it.
Okay. Vesryn's clearly nervous because this is not his element. He's out of it. He's never hunted in the cold waste. We have no idea what type of bird this is.
Yeah, Twins just
you can see
we're all
Eslov's
gonna die unless we do something. So
you can see that Vesryn's okay, I'm following your lead, but he is very unsure of this situation.
okay.
So you guys are going ahead of the group?
Yeah, we're gonna try to pick up the pace to catch up to it.
I will say this though: if we go ahead, I know it's tundra. are we going to be able to find our way back to the others? Or are we going to become fully separated?
And then she's gonna look at Morcant.
If you want, I can send Soul out.
You
Perhaps
could send
she can...
Soul out. Morcant, you got something you can, shine in the air or something. He's thaumaturgy, so he could
Perhaps
make some noise.
Perhaps we keep moving with them behind us. I send Soul out to see if she can catch up to whatever it is and keep eyes on.
Oh, yeah, that's a way better idea. You should do that.
If we need to, then we can separate, but maybe we can even get an idea of what we're chasing.
Yeah, I thought you were saying we'd leave the bird behind. It's just like, clearly there's like a toll even on her. And
Yeah.
It's just like, yeah, send Soul out.
Okay, so you send Soul out ahead, trying to gain a little ground on where you are.
And maybe get a visual of what this thing is.
And maybe a mile or two ahead of you, in the direction you're tracking, you find this bird that is maybe about as tall as Cerridwen, and with this big, huge beak. And it is not flying, it's running or walking along, through the snow, and it's covered in like heavy feathers and down. And it looks like it's hunting.
Now,
Maybe a
I'm holding
perception
on to-
check while you're looking.
Yes, I'm holding on to her, and I'm saying this out loud while we're walking, while you're dragging me along. What I'm seeing.
Little
Perception
escort.
check. I gotta roll a 10, and I don't have Soul stuff right in front of me, so give me a second. Let's see what bonuses are for Soul. I think she only has a plus. Soul has. Nope, I don't see any. Oh yeah, perception is plus 3, so 13 for the perception.
Okay. And you see it go to the foot of the mountains, and there are these big, round, icy caves, and it seems to like sniff in the air and then head in.
Alright.
And I will say that to you as well.
Oh, so it has a cave.
We should be cautious though, and I will snap Soul back.
Okay.
But I will have Soul kind of guide us, stay within, kind of guide us to where that direction is. But when I come back, I will say, my only concern is what if there's more of that inside the cave?
Well, can you send Soul to look? I mean, I know you just caught her back, but...
When we get closer, I can maybe send Soul in to take a quick peek.
Right, well, I think it's worth it. We could find shelter and food in the same place.
Eslov, how are you doing?
Buttering.
You need to give him...
You want to look at the other crew? How's everyone doing?
They're still alive.
Okay.
Eslov is like tracking the tracks himself, even though you guys already figured out what the animal was. He's like, he thinks he's tracking. That's what he's up to right now.
And Eslov, as you're tracking, you find another set of tracks.
Are they human sized?
Huh?
Are they human sized?
No, but they're human shaped.
Yeah, he starts screaming, "People! People!"
What? She's gonna walk over.
But they're small, like they'd be like little kid shoes or something.
Oh?
Do I recognize... Do I think they're like gnome or dwarf feet?
No, you don't see any.
Oh.
Maybe the wind covered the tracks up.
Eslov, does Eslov still see them?
Yeah. I mean, the wind is kind of blowing over them, but you
Follow them.
know where they went.
Just runs off.
Okay, she's gonna go after him. Eslov, do you remember that time we went into the woods and ran into a big octopus in the sky? And he's just going off. Okay, I'm coming.
I turn back to Captain Mara while she's chasing after him. Once we get Eslov in, the plan is to head towards the cave.
And Captain Omari, she says, I think the caves, yeah, they'd be good. The caves would be good.
Oh, God. Not you too, Captain.
No, I'm okay. It's just really cold. We should probably get in or something. And maybe food.
And I'll take one of the pieces of wood out, and I will set it on fire, and I will hand it to her to give her some warmth.
I don't know why, but I thought you were going to take it out and like hit her on the head with it.
Bonk. One less.
Oh, I'm trying to give her some warmth. For her and Yakubo to like kind of huddle around.
Right.
Hold the fire for as long as you can. Give yourself some warmth.
And she takes it, and the other NPC, Yakmo, the two of them are like huddled together, and they see Cerridwen like, maybe we should. I mean, Eslov's from here. Maybe he knows where he's going more. Or do you think the thing you're chasing?
I think Eslov is not in his right mind at the moment. After he dove into those waters to get some fish, he has not been the same. He's too cold. His mind is not fully functional at this moment. I'll look and see if Dwin's caught up to him at this point.
I imagine she has. He's not going very fast.
Yeah,
I still
he's
see the
done
track.
half.
Do I see
The tracks slowly fade away. It seems like the wind blows over them and covers them up. It seems, Eslov. And you're like, damn.
No, the child. It's here. They're here somewhere. Apparently, we have to find the child.
She's just like, did I see any of the tracks?
You didn't, no.
Okay.
They're lost here. We have to help them.
I mean, there are lumps like in the snow. Like you've been out in snow, it's not perfectly smooth. There's little places. Maybe he thinks a little place was a track. Maybe.
So they might have been tracks.
Well, you never saw any, but there are like places in the snow where it's not flat. It's like it rises and stuff, and maybe he, in his delusions, thought there was a track when there wasn't.
And then Cerridwen's just gonna like grab him and be like, Eslov, you're losing your sodding mind. We found a chicken. We're gonna kill it and eat it. Let's go.
Chickens? There's no chickens. My bear's here.
It's a big bird. Whatever. And then like she's just gonna try to like.
He puts up no resistance.
All right, she's gonna pull him back.
Are we good, Gwen? Can we keep moving?
She's just gonna like hold Eslov's hand at this point and be like, "Yeah, let's go." I keep losing this one, so let's go.
And you keep heading, and you head towards the chicken. And as you get to the cave entrance, there's you realize there's like fog starting to roll in from the mountains too. It seems to kind of roll out even from the mouths of some of these caves, but you see suddenly there are these big caves. And when I say big, I mean they're like cavernous in some places, just massive. Some places are smaller. Eslov, make me a history check.
$18.
18. These caves look familiar, although it's way back in your memory, like maybe when you were a child, and you remember vaguely something like the demon caves or something like that.
Wait.
Can I get a go on? Sorry.
No, he's just mumbling about something about maggots.
Can I get a con save from everybody again? We've been out here a long time again. Let's see what they're doing.
Yes, I rolled an 18. I'm safe.
Natural
Oh.
plus 6.
Morcant failed one. So he's back to 1 now.
Okay.
You get everyone?
Yeah, you got a... Eslov, you got a 20, right?
Yeah, not 20 plus 6.
Morgan, or Vesryn missed one.
No,
Carol-
I got no. Vesryn got one now. It was
Oh, you
Morcant
got one.
that
Oh,
failed
you're... Oh, it's Morcant.
Vesryn
Okay.
passed.
So he's back
Morcant
one.
failed one. So
Oh,
he's
okay,
back to
that's
1 because the rest we all lost 1. So he was at 0.
Yeah.
So he's at 1 now.
And Cerridwen?
15.
Okay, so you did good. And Yakmo, as you're walking, falls behind quite a bit.
No, I'm gonna run to him.
I got him, Twin. Keep leading the way. And I'll go to Yakbo and I will grab him and I will wrap him up and I will stay with him and try to keep him warm as we keep moving. We're almost to the cave. I just need you to stay a little bit strong for me, okay? Just a little bit longer.
And he tries to take a step, and that's about as much as he can take.
More can't carry him.
With pleasure.
More-
Erwin, carry him.
Morcant would try. He would
In the
do
name
it.
of Hackor. In the
How's-
name of Hackor, carry him.
I mean, he's like a
He's strong as
14.
he. Oh yeah, he can carry him. Not a problem.
Yeah, he's a 14.
Yeah, Yakmo's not even that big.
Yeah.
Okay, so he picks him up and probably throws him over his shoulder.
Carry.
Yeah.
These are too big. They're too big.
What do you mean they're too big?
They're too big.
Eslov, as you're
Crawling through the earth has been here. What made these? These
Maybe they're natural made caves?
the walls.
Look at the wall.
Yeah, the caves feel very organic, maybe, but they seem to be, shaped like in the forms of things, water flowing through or something. But you don't see any water. It just seems just big round caves. How big of a cave do you want to go into?
Would I recall the name of any specific demon? Because you had mentioned demon caves.
No, they were called that. I don't think you would know why it was called that. It was just called that, and they said they just weren't. That there was risk in going through them, but sometimes you have to take risks to survive. That's
Can't
it.
go deep. Can't
I
go
was,
deep.
I would suggest. What was it, Eslov?
Can't go deep.
No, I would agree
They're
with
hungry.
that.
They're too hungry.
We can't go deep. We're not fit for it. You're not fit for it. We need you at your best. You are not at your best. I think we'd want to stay near the front of the cave, just enough to keep the wind from hitting us, and we can set up a little fire and see out. Right? Or is it?
Yeah,
Sure.
is there like a smaller cave? Like,
Sure,
Yeah.
there are different sized caves. There's some that are just huge, and there's some that are all the way down to a few feet around, and every size in between. And they seem to run in between these giant rock formations that all look weathered and rounded. Like these aren't mountains that are like fresh and new. These are old.
shoot, okay, well, I want to find a cave that's kind of shallow, because then we can just go hole up in there and then try to just
Okay.
block it off and just make a bubble of heat.
Yeah. And take your firewood and give yourself a warm spot.
Yeah, maybe no brick the entrance.
Yeah. So,
Make it glue.
who's putting the fire together? Vesryn?
When you seem to be better at the fire building than myself.
Sure, I can do that.
You said it, I'll light it.
Okay. What's a 13?
All right. So you're able to get the fire going, get everybody bundled and warm. You hear your stomachs rumbling, but the warmth is pushed away for a time. And
cold?
I mean, the cold is pushed away for a time. And you're sitting inside this cave, and everyone's starting to get a little bit back, and suddenly you hear, and this huge shadow leaps to the front of the cave, and we're going to take a quick break, and we'll be back.
Okay.
It's Big Bird.
Yeah.
And Snuffleupagus.
Oh man, I hope we don't run into one of those. I don't want to fight a mammoth.
Scott, remember to mute us for break this time.
Yeah, let's do that. All right, everybody, it seems like it's time to rock and roll. ROC rock. I think Robosardi has spent way too much time on Reddit.
He actually doesn't spend a lot of time on Reddit.
He should, because he sounds like he lives there.
Like, he doesn't, yeah, I'm his wife, so I don't think so.
He's secretly going on it behind your back.
Yeah, what are you doing?
No, nothing. He like covers his computer screen. He's on like the D&D page.
Yeah.
It's not Reddit. It's not Reddit. This is on Twitter.
I mean, that's what whenever I ask him what he's thinking about, I'm like, what you thinking about? He's like, D&D stuff.
That's awesome.
I'm like, oh, tell me about it.
So you hear this screech at the door. You see the shadow of some kind of a beast rise up quickly. That's funny. Michael closes 3d6 Reddit pages quickly.
Dude.
And who is sitting nearest the front? There's
Michael.
the four of you. Five. So there's six of you still left. Let's see who's.
I would be towards the front, if that helps.
Yep. You and Eslov are right there by the front. And this huge beak from the foggy haze outside comes in and tries to grab at you. Can I get initiative rolls? And anybody who has taken, if you're at one level, no, if you're at 3 levels or lower, you're at disadvantage on your attack rolls.
Oh, okay.
So if you have 1, you're at disadvantage too?
No, if you're on ability checks. If you're at 2, your speed is halved. If you're at 3, you have disadvantage on attack rolls and saving throws. If you have 4, you have your hit points are halved. Your maximum hit points are halved. And for the one person who has 5, that person can't even move, which is Yakimo.
And this is the exhaustion chart?
Yes.
I'm bad.
Did you roll for him? Because if not, I rolled for Morcant if you didn't.
I didn't roll for him. Oh, you guys, okay.
Yeah, I was asking because I know Dwayne and me both have been kind of having a sheet open. So if she's rolling for him, then I'll ignore what I rolled. But
I got a 6.
Okay. You got a 6?
I got a 16.
I got a 16.
I don't mind rolling. I don't care who rolls for Morcant.
What'd you get, Vesryn?
I got a 16 as well.
And
For Morcant, I already rolled. Oh, he has a straight 0 for his initiative, so he got a 9, a straight 9.
Okay.
All right.
Okay, 60. So, oh, hold on. Oh, nice. So this beast head out of the fog and the haze comes in and it strikes and it tries to hit your leg. What's your AC?
12.
It does hit your leg. And it is a pretty big bird and it is strong and it tries to pull your leg and drag you out of the cave.
Okay.
Make me a dex save.
Like, can we do contested grapple?
It was surprised the first time.
Okay.
And you take 9 points of slashing damage from its beak.
Okay, I got a disadvantage on ability checks. Okay, I'm still okay. That's a 17 on my dex save.
Okay, so it doesn't pull you out, it just gets the damage.
Okay.
And does get to continue. 16. That would be Cerridwen and Vesryn. Cerridwen, I'll let you go first since you're right there.
Okay, I will attack it with my longsword. And that's an ability check. Because it's an attack roll.
Yep.
Oops. Out loud. Okay. Yeah, that missed, because that was a 2. I'm going to try to...
Ability checks wouldn't affect
No, the
your
ability
attack
checks.
rolls.
How many are you down on the con rolls?
2?
Oh, no, your attack rolls are okay until you get to 3.
Oh, okay. Then that would be a... Does a 14 hit?
A 14 does hit.
Cool, okay. Then I will do...
I'm glad you hit.
I do 5 points of damage, and then I'm gonna go for an unarmed strike. Try to punch it in the face, but I don't think that's gonna hit. Oh, no, that's another 14.
That does hit.
Okay, so that's just 3 points of damage. Punched in the face.
Okay. Vesryn, what are you doing when you see this bird?
Vesryn immediately pulls out his rapier, and he will swing at this thing. Bonus action, though, I will cast. As a bonus action, I will cast. We'll do Green Flame Blade. So, as he pulls out the rapier, you see all of a sudden, like, green flames just immediately, as it's coming out, just cover the blade. And then he will charge and try to hit this thing.
Make me a perception check as you charge at the bird.
Perception would be 15.
Okay.
Okay, nothing?
No, I'm going to give you something. Hold on.
Okay.
All right.
Anything I need to know?
I put it in Discord to you.
Oh, okay. Let me do it real quick. All right, and as I'm moving, I say, there may be something else out there. There's something behind it. And then I will still move to strike it.
Try and hit it.
Oh, you're saying Morcant to do that to the thing?
What?
You said Morcant, the other
Oh,
thing.
no, that was earlier. Don't worry
Okay.
about it.
Sorry, I didn't. All right.
Yeah.
So yeah, I will swing at this thing.
Yeah.
And boom, 13 plus, plus 6, so 19.
That hits.
All right, so first off, the rapier does 6 points of damage for for slashing, but also with the booming blade, that's another D8 of I think it's fire damage? Yeah, fire damage. Another 5 points of fire damage.
Okay.
Can't see it.
And to the target,
Have to under.
fire damage. Oh yeah, there's no, unless there's, I don't know if the other creature's near it or anything like that. Oh no. All right. Anyways, go ahead. If there's another creature within 5 feet of it, it can lead to it. When you're saying there's a shadow in the haze, I didn't know if that meant it was nearby.
It's not within 5 feet, but it
Okay.
does look like it was maybe moving up.
Yeah. And
Captain Omari. Okay, Captain Omari will. She goes next, and she pulls out her saber, and she rolls a nat 1 and misses pretty badly. And as she does so, she stumbles forward some, and in the haze, you see another one of these birds, even bigger, kind of rise up in the area right behind. Morcant is up.
I vote he uses Bane.
yeah, that sounds fine to me. I'll let you make those decisions on what spells he uses. You probably have had more experience playing clerics than I have. I don't play a lot of clerics.
I haven't played a lot of clerics either. But I vote he uses Bane.
I'll second that.
Okay,
Okay.
so up to 3 creatures, so he's going to use them on the birds, and they have to make Charisma saving throws.
And they're ugly, so they're gonna fail.
Oh, I mean, charisma is $1 bucks.
I know.
I could have made a real mean joke there.
He doesn't have... how do you calculate your spell save? It's like 8...
His spell save.
Okay, 11.
Should be on there. He's got a 15 spell save.
Yeah, he does.
And it.
Oh, there it is. I found it.
They both miss.
Cool. Okay.
So
Good
they're
job, Morcant.
D4s. Eslov.
By the way,
Yeah, go on.
I didn't. Just so you know, that wasn't actually bonus action. That would have been the action. It would have been doing the booming blade. Booming blade's an action. So I meant to do something else, but it's my fault. I'll do it on my next turn.
You're just a little delirious too from the cold. Everyone's a little slowed. Eslov, what are you doing when you see this huge bird break in? You've seen these birds.
He doesn't recognize it. Under his breath, he's going to mutter Duva Dengyata and go into a rage.
That could be dangerous. A delirious Eslov in a rage? Ooh.
Do you have a table? Okay.
I do, actually.
Oh.
Can you roll me a D8?
Of course I can. Why didn't you just ask? That would be a 6. By the way, Cerridwen, you would recognize the word he said under his breath as being draconic or demon.
And when he goes into his attack, it seems like lights almost flicker around him, and they form what looks sort of like a wall of shields around him and around everybody that's close to him.
That would be me.
And they don't seem fully substantial like wood. They seem, Vesryn, to you, they would feel illusionary almost. But they do seem to have some kind of force potential or something, some kind of protective capability. And Eslov leaps into action in his delirious state.
And I believe I'm at 2 points of exhaustion. I forget. Does that give me disadvantage on attack rolls?
No, 3 does.
Okay. All right. In that case, full attack.
Which one? The one that's already attacked or the one that's coming up behind?
The one that's already attacked, but that's a natural 20.
Oh, yeah. That'll definitely hit.
This isn't the demon, is it?
No.
Okay.
Yeah. That have just been perfect.
It'll be 16 damage against Big Birdman.
And, of course, you rise up and you decapitate the bird.
You know what? I'm going to
Bird
reckless
one.
attack. Is reckless attack a bonus action? Or is it a free action?
I think
I don't even know.
bonus.
Okay, well, I'll just forget about it this turn. I already used my bonus action. I should know my health.
All right.
I think reckless attack you can just do. I don't think it's a bonus.
Yeah.
Okay.
You
well, in
just
that
choose
case-
to do it because then it puts you at disadvantage as well.
Oh, yeah, you're right.
Oh,
You can-
okay. No, I'm misreading. For some reason, I thought reckless do
Yeah,
another
you go
attack.
into a rage
For
with a
second.
bonus action.
Right. No, I'm bugging. Ignore me.
You're good. You're good, man. Well, I mean, S-Ball's bugging. We already know that. So you're fine.
S12's bugging. Hey, it's method.
Yeah, there you go. There you go.
I'm delirious in real life. Wait, I think that's. Oh, wait, I forgot to mark it as my favorite. That anyway, so hold on.
And,
That's my turn.
okay. Everybody who's within 10 feet of him now is at +1 on their AC.
Yeah.
Nice.
And the Yakma does nothing. Back to the top. The other bird comes in, and it goes after. Let's see who it goes after. Oh, that makes sense. It goes after Yakma.
Oh,
Yakubu, no!
why did it do that?
And
Bastard.
and when it does, and he's
Does it
defenseless.
Does it move past us?
It moved by leaping into the middle of the group. These things are big and they jump like they're like chickens, like you said. They
Can
will
we
jump
get
in. You can get
Attacks
if-
of opportunity?
you can as it comes in and leaps over people to try and get into the weakest one.
Right.
Alright, that's a 17. So,
The 26 to hit.
Hey, I got
25 to hit.
I got a 22 to hit.
Do we hit this thing, Scott?
Yeah, you're all hitting it very hard. Oh, what about Captain Omari? Captain Omari does not hit. Oh, shingles.
16 points damage for me.
that's 6 from me.
7 for me.
Okay.
God. You really want this guy defended.
And
So much effort.
when it gets hit by all these attacks, it drops Yakma out of its mouth, and it turns to. Okay, to Vesryn. Who didn't roll so far? Morcant. Did Morcant roll?
Not yet. He goes on a 9.
Okay. So, all right. Actually, it's your attack and Cerridwen's attacks. But it turns to you, and there's blood all on its beak from having attacked Yakma.
All right, I'll let Dwin go first, since she already went first last time. We'll just keep that same pattern.
Oh, is it my turn?
Yeah,
That thing has a lot more health than the last one.
Oh,
Is
okay.
this one bigger?
it is bigger.
Okay, I'm going with a two-handed strike, so that's a 18 to hit.
Mm-hmm.
And I will up
Hits.
my damage shoot with 210. Okay, so that's 5 more points of damage, and then I'll use my last healing word for Jacopo. So he should get.
Give me what he gets.
Let's dig out a D4, and they always wind up at the bottom. Okay, he gets 6 points, Zach.
Okay. Vesryn.
Seeing this larger target in front of him, Vesryn is going to, once again, how hurt does this thing look at this moment? Does it look pretty beat up, or does it look like it's still pretty fresh?
Well, it's not fresh, that's for sure.
Well, I'm just saying, does it look more like it's barely hurt, or does it look like it's kind of ragged at this point?
No, it's hurt. It's been stabbed a bunch and punched a bunch, and yeah, it has some ruffled feathers. Oh my God, I sound like Michael there.
All right, so then I will just, again, this time what I'll do to this one is I'll do Booming Blade on it as my rapier begins to vibrate with energy as I swing at it, hoping that it'll hit. And 11 plus 6, 17?
That hits. Yep.
All right, so 17, so that's going to be 2d8. Slashing, it's going to be 9 points of slashing, and then 7 points of thunder damage. I think it's thunder. Yeah, thunder damage.
And the thunder, when it hits, it blasts it against the wall, and it just crumples to the ground from the force of it.
I wish Eslov was in his right mind right now. Then he could appreciate what I just did.
That was pretty cool.
What are you doing, Eslov?
He's like angrily hacking at the corpse.
Can you make me a perception check, please?
Yes, I can. 22.
Okay. So, Eslov hacks at the corpse.
I'm gonna call out, Eslo, it's dead.
It needs to be chopped up for meat. I found meat. Don't worry, I found meat.
It's gonna be
It's
like,
okay.
all right, let's just start
Okay.
a fire. Just cook it.
You had a fire.
Yeah, we had a fire going, yeah.
All right, well, let's
Good to go.
just gonna start like pulling feathers out. Let's get this bird on the fire.
And-
Vesryn will help you however he can. I mean, he's not really like an expert at that stuff again, but he'll do his part to try to learn and help.
Yeah, and you were finally enjoying some food. Your stomach stopped growling after a while. You get one exhaustion back after several hours of sitting there.
Yay!
And while you're there, you think that you hear like something clicking on ice, like ding ding, or like ice, maybe falling, maybe cracking.
Where'd it come from?
In the cave further.
I'm gonna look back at the cave.
It's
wanna-
dark at this point. You just have the fire.
Do you want to send Soul over there to check it out?
I mean, I could, but if something hasn't, well, if it's in there, it's probably noticed this by now with the noise of the birds. So I'll summon forth Soul. And she,
Okay.
Soul, can you do us a favor, please? Be careful, be cautious, but can you perhaps fly in a little bit and see what's down this tunnel?
Okay. And she heads into the cave in the wind.
And yeah, I'll now immediately go into her vision to see what she sees.
And you go in and you see that the cave opens up wider, and there's every now and then you'll see a stalactite kind of fall, like small ones, like the ice is dripping a little bit from maybe water flow coming through the stone above, and every now and then this little piece will come falling down in this cave or this cavern.
Does it open up into like a wide cavern, or is it just like...
It opens up more. I mean, it's not massive, but it's big.
I'll have her kind of do like a fly around and like kind of head back. Like just kind of swoop around the larger cave and just make sure there's nothing in there, and then fly back towards us.
Yeah. She flies back.
And I would relay what she saw. Was there any other... Did the tunnel keep going down inside there at all? Was it... Did I see another entrance in there further deep?
It was really hard to know. I mean, maybe there are places that kind of... It wasn't a big circle. It kind of went in lots of different directions.
Yeah. There may be further entrances that go deeper, but it seems like maybe the noise we're hearing are just things falling from the ceiling.
All right. Well, as long as there's not something waiting to stalk us and kill us in the night, then fine.
Eslov, your crab is eating some of the bird too, enjoying it. It's sitting on your shoulder, like nibbling on
He's
piece
just
of
gonna
meat.
what are you thinking? Gonna get down on his. He's just gonna sit down like cross-legged and just rest for a minute, and just watch his crab.
How are we on health? Does anyone need healing?
I'm fine on health personally, but while you're doing that, I will go further down into the tunnel a little bit, not too far, just enough to where I can set up an alarm spell. So if something does come down the tunnel towards us, we have like maybe a turn or so to prepare for it, because it's like a 20-foot cube that I can set up. So I'll set that up a little bit down to where it'll create a little bit of a distance for us as a ritual casting.
Okay.
How are the
And-
NPCs?
Yakima is barely alive,
Okay.
but alive.
I'll have Morcant cast Healing Word at level 2.
Okay.
So we should get what is that?
Morcant, make me a perception check while she's doing that.
I mean,
I can do that. 14. Natural 14.
Okay. He gets 8 points back.
Oh. Okay. He's up to full.
Sweet.
Actually, he's not. He's up to half. Because he still has the exhaustion levels. That gives him a max of
Oh, okay.
less than that. Morcant is kind of looking around, and on one of the cave walls, it looks like there's something carved in the ice, he notices. And it looks similar to the symbol for Aquar, but it's not the same. Similar is all.
So it's Icor that the symbol is for.
Maybe.
Can we have someone do a religion check, like Morcant or me, or?
No, not in,
Okay,
in
out of
this.
our Elded. Okay, that's fine. Really?
Vesryn, while you're heading out down the cavern a little bit to cast, can you make me a perception check also?
That's going to be a 10.
Okay. Can you make me a dex save, please?
That I can do. That would be 14 plus 3 would be 17.
Okay. So, at the last minute, you hear the creaking of a stalactite falling from the ceiling. And it crashes down, and it was pretty big, and it shatters around you. And you take 4 points of damage from the shards just exploding around you while you're trying to cast.
I'm okay. Just damn stalactite.
Peace.
I'll continue casting.
Okay. And you start your casting up again. And you think you see the shadow move in, just at the edge of your light, your ability to see with your dark vision. Like just a little movement.
Is this as I finish casting?
While you're casting.
I will have like soul flying towards it to see what it is.
And soul flies over there, and there's nothing there at the shadow. It was just probably the light from the fire or something. It's always the light from a fire.
Okay. And I'll continue casting and finish. Hopefully, try to get it finished. It's a 10-minute cast.
And while you're casting, from up in the caves, there's a fog kind of rolling down through the tunnel. And you realize that you're in a low part of the cave, and the cave continues up, some ways. And fog starts rolling down from inside.
Okay. I mean, there's not much I can do in the middle of casting, because if I stop,
Right.
then I have to start over. I want to get this spell casted.
Yeah.
It's really just so we can camp out.
I know. I know what it's for.
Yeah.
And you finish your casting. By the time you do, you're in a haze that's hard to see through. But Soul is there with you, and you finish up, and you feel it set, and immediately it goes off.
Really?
Yes.
Woo!
2 alms. There's something here possibly, and I will move back towards the group.
Okay. Make me a perception check.
That time I'm not seeing as much. I think I got a 9. So yeah.
Okay. And you take 3 points of damage from a stalactite falling, and it actually hits you on the side of you rather than it wasn't the shards. It was a big chunk that.
How much?
3 points.
And how much was the last one? Sorry, I was so busy trying to cast. I think it was 4, wasn't it?
It was 4 the last one, yes.
Yeah. So 7. All right. Son of a.
The stalactites keep falling on you.
Now, are these what's setting up the alarm? Because it would be intrusions, not like these things wouldn't set that off. Okay.
You know
Okay.
that wouldn't set them off.
Yeah, okay. But yeah, something's coming. It just broke the alarm that I just set.
I'm gonna use detect magic and look around.
The fog is magic.
The fog is magic!
All right, then if that's the case, since she says that,
Right.
I will... Damn it, I don't have to spell. I have counterspell. Son of a mother. All right.
And it's quiet,
Phew.
probably.
We will gather around the NPCs.
And then from out of the fog... Uh-oh, my dice trying to escape. Damn, it did a good job
That means it's
escaping.
an automatic one, right? An automatic one.
Well, it missed,
I think that rule only applies to players.
a snow,
Yeah.
like a snowball or an ice ball comes flying out of the fog and just goes past somebody.
Who's there? Hey, I love we both say it. Who's there?
Oh, time for a game. You have to get out of here.
And there's no response.
He's like,
Morcant will try to cast Gust on the Wind, right?
He doesn't have Gust prepared.
He doesn't? He would have had Gust prepared. It says Gust of Wind. Second level spell.
Maybe you guys are looking at different sheets.
Second level, Gust of Wind. Oh, so like what he has written down, because he has like this other set of spells below his sheet.
I see Gust of Wind on there too. It's like.
Oh, there's more at the oh, I get it. Oh, okay.
See, I would
I
say
just saw the blank spaces. Sorry.
Yeah, I would call to him, Morcant, can you get rid of this fog?
Okay. Yeah. Cool. So a line of strong wind. Yeah, he has level 2 still. So.
Yeah, he thinks so. He can push it back up the cave.
Yeah, it's 60 feet long and 10 feet wide, and it blasts in the direction you choose. Each creature in that line must succeed a strength saving throw or be pushed 15 feet away.
Yeah, so it pushes the fog gets pushed back, and when it happens, as the fog rolls back, you see these these creatures, vaguely humanoid but with wings, flying up near the ceiling of this thing, backing away and trying to stay in the fog as the wind pushes it back. They have these icy features, long pointed noses, and fingers that are long and bony looking, but they all look blue-white, and it just keeps trying to stay back away from you and in the fog area. And as the fog goes back, they're catching up to it and moving back too.
Can I determine what type of creatures these are?
I wasn't sure if Arcana would work.
It's not. It wouldn't be an Arcana check. If anybody, Eslov might have seen them.
Do they remind me of Fae?
Yeah, they do. Yeah, they actually. Yeah, I'll give you a roll. You're right. The Fae connection could be similar enough.
What am I rolling?
Your history.
Okay.
Do you want me to roll a
Yeah,
roll?
you can too.
What would you want me to roll in?
History.
10.
13?
You think that these might, Cerridwen, you think these might be some type of what they would call mephits.
Okay. Do I
And
know anything
you've
about
never
them?
seen one, but they are some kind of distantly related in some way to fae from the north or something. You believe.
Okay. I'm just gonna start. I'm gonna like take my drum out and just start like beating a fun little tune because, I mean, in her experience, they like music, so she's just gonna be like, I'm gonna try to charm them with my drum.
Do you say anything to us, or do you just do that? Like, do you let us know what they are? Or?
Oh, she'll start saying that and then realize she looks like an idiot, and then is like, they're Fae, I think. I think they like music. I don't know. Start singing.
I'll say to them in Sylvan, we will leave you alone if you leave us alone. We just need to stay in the front for warmth. We have no interest in going deeper into your home. I'll say that in Sylvan, hoping that maybe they'll understand it if they're Fae.
And they don't respond to either of your talking or
Drums.
well, the drums don't seem to attract them the way that you would think if they were Fae. They seem maybe they're deaf.
Maybe they're deaf.
Doesn't seem to be too helpful.
And one of them picks the piece of stalactite off and throws it at you, Vesryn. And misses badly. But it probably wouldn't have hurt anyway that much. It's a small piece. It doesn't look like you could actually throw a big piece. It's not that big. It's maybe 3 or 4 feet tall. But it stays in the air. And then it grabs onto a stalactite at the top, up at the ceiling, and when it does, it disappears. It like melds into the stalactite.
It's beyond our God.
Huh?
So wait, sorry, I was reading. Did the Muffets just like meld back into the ice?
One of them seemed to meld like into a stalactite that was hanging down. Looked like it was maybe going to like try and hold on to it. And instead of holding on, it kind of embraced it and kind of went into it.
Okay.
Eslov, maybe these are what they meant by the demons, by the demon caves. Who knows?
It's tweaking.
Well, do we want to try to fight these things?
We don't really have a choice. We either go back into the cold, we fight them if they come here.
Okay.
I say we stay here. If they continue to be aggressive, then we deal with them. If they back off, then we leave them alone.
I'm gonna have Morcant march over to the fog cloud and use Thunder Wave.
Put it into them, right?
Level 1. Just to see what I feel like he'd be over this nonsense.
I can throw a fireball down there.
Wait, no, he wouldn't do that. He'd want to save them. He can't do that.
Would he want to save them? Maybe he would, actually.
Yeah, he'd be like, wait a minute, we can try talking to them. Morcant, I'm gonna have Morcant make a persuasion check, where he's like, we don't have to fight. We can be peaceful.
And maybe he has better luck than me.
Yeah. Oh, that's a... Okay, so I got a natural 16. And his persuasion is... Sorry, it's hard to tell. Oh, it's +3. Okay, so that's a 19.
Hopefully they understand. That's all he can say to people.
What does he know? He knows common, draconic, dwarfish, elvish, and halfling. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
None of those seems to speak to it.
Okay.
And it Boy, would Morcant do that? I think you're right. He would not thunderwave them.
Not right away.
I don't think he would think
Not
that
right away.
that the attacks they made would warrant that kind of a reciprocation.
Yeah.
Because right now it could just be warning attacks, like stay out of our cave. Because technically,
Right.
I did go further in. I went further in to set up an alarm, and maybe they felt that was a sign of aggression. I mean,
Yeah, I don't think he would yet. He would. I think he would do it if you were attacked by, in a much more real way, like something heavy or more dangerous. Even then, though,
Yeah.
maybe it would be like an iffy thing.
Yeah, it'd be really. Yeah. Anyway, okay, so we're just gonna like back away from them. At least Dwin will. I'm like, hey, we'll give him some space.
So will Vesryn.
And they back away with the fog, and the one that's still there. The one of them disappeared into the ice. The one that's still there, it like merges up into the ceiling. It's also ice. And
I'll take some of the bird and I'll toss it down the hallway and see if it wants to come down and eat it. Because I have a feeling it's still there. I don't know it is, but I feel like it would still be there, like it's hiding, keeping an eye on us. Peace out. Then.
It doesn't come out of the ice or anything.
Okay. Well, is it dark out?
Yes.
I'm going to bed. She's
I'll
just
take
gonna
the
like
first one.
just cocoons. She'd like spoon the NPCs to keep them warm.
I think we'd all be spooning.
Yeah.
Everyone seems like one hell of a big spoon.
It is.
She's the big spoon.
Everybody else is the
like,
little spoon.
I feel like her arm is like long enough to at least like wrap around 2 people, right?
Yeah.
Cerridwen is the serving spoon.
Yeah.
Everyone else is the grapefruit spoon.
I mean, Eslev's still pretty big, so.
That stuff could get like 1.5, maybe.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
his wingspan is not. Doesn't hold a hand compared to us, I don't think.
Who's on watch then?
Vesryn will take first watch with Soul. Me and her will sit up and keep a watch while everybody else rests, because everybody else needs it probably more than he does, other than Morcant.
I mean, Eslov falls asleep pretty quickly. I don't know if he would get a watch.
Yeah, Eslov needs to sleep.
I think Morcant would stay up.
Yeah, Morcant would take one too. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, Vesryn, around a few hours later, you get tired. And Morcant says, I have this.
I'll leave Soul up with him just to give him an extra pair of eyes.
Okay.
I'll tell her to warn him if anything, makes an aggressive move. And then I will sleep.
And Eslov, when you wake up first, you finally got your rest. And you feel like almost like you're coming out of a haze a bit. Like you get another level of exhaustion back. And suddenly you realize that the place that you're in is risky. That you know that there are more dangerous things than these little things here. Bears, giant, like really huge monsters of different kinds. But also the mountain will keep the frigid wind blowing on you the whole time on that side. You almost feel like you need to get to the north side, and you're basically you're on the south side of the sky at the moment. And from here you can see mountains. You can see that there's no more mountains in the distance to the south because it's ocean, but getting over it might block all that heavy wind, and you'd be more into the kind of tundra region you might be more familiar with. This is super coastal, which you liked, but not when you're trying to keep these people alive, because they're not built for it.
And that's really the issue.
They're weak to the cold.
Well, wait for other people to wake up.
Well, as you're waking up, you see that Morcant is actually awake. and I guess he was on the second watch, or you assume he's on the second watch, and he's speaking to one of those little icy things, or at least trying to.
Like one eye open. But I don't want him to know that I'm because he might stop.
Mm-hmm.
But I was trying to figure out what he's saying to it.
He seems to be talking to it in different languages. You can't tell exactly which ones since you don't know them all. You know Common, you hear him kind of run through Common, and he's asking like, "What's your name?" And there's no response, and then he tries another language. I don't know how many languages he has. You'd have to look at his... How many languages does he have, Morgan? Or Cerridwen? Or Tiffany?
Whoever gets there first. He has Common, Draconic, Dwarfish, Elvish, and Halfling.
He goes through all of those languages, and the thing it's sort of sitting, but where it sits, its butt and legs kind of just merge into the icy floor. And... Huh?
Oh, sorry. Sorry. I thought you were...
No, it's okay. And after a while, the thing seems to get bored, and it starts to reach for him, for Morcant.
Oh, well, I'm still dead asleep.
Well, I'm going to shoot up. Maybe startling Morcants. But I'm going to, try and, jump at the thing to get it to flinch back. Treat somehow. Okay.
And it turns startled really quickly, and it, in a flash, tries to jump away. Make me an attack roll.
No, I wasn't trying to attack. I was just trying to escape.
Oh, okay. Oh, it's scared, and it starts flying away as quickly as it can. And Morcant turns. I was trying to talk to it.
These things, these caves, they're not places for diplomacy. No great deed has ever been done here.
Oh, yeah.
Well, we got some chicken.
Yeah, some chicken. That's, I think, about as good as it's going to get.
How are you feeling?
I'm tired.
Yeah.
Where have I been for the past days? Hazy. I can't remember. Where are we?
We're in some caves that... Did he hear you say the demon caves? Let me see if he says that. He didn't hear you say it. He says,
I was talking about demons and worms and bait.
But you were mumbly about it too, though. And after a while, that stuff turns into whatever kind of stuff. He stopped paying attention and didn't hear all that. He said some caves, I think you tried to warn us about them, but you also led us to them with Cerridwen and Vesryn. We lost a couple. I think that you knew that, right?
I hadn't even noticed.
Yeah, but I can say one thing that is a little worrisome. The fire is starting to die down, and we're running out of wood.
We need to get on the north side of the mountain. North side of the mountain. Forests. Hopefully some animals, birds.
And the only way to do that is what?
We can't stay.
Can we climb the mountain?
To climb the mountain, we could go under it. But we don't get to make that choice.
Yeah, we should. When the others wake, let's talk about it.
Going around.
The sun's rising.
Far too long.
And who's next?
Probably me, since I only did 4 hours.
No, Cerridwen wakes up next.
Do we get a full rest?
You do.
Oh, sweet. I have my spells back.
Yeah.
Long rest. Take long rest. Okay. She'll look around and
Eslov and Morcant are up.
Eslov sees Cerridwen, like, doesn't really say anything. Just a little awkward.
Cerridwen, everybody's like snuggled up to you. It's hard to move even. They're like under your legs or between your arms and your shoulder.
I don't know about anyone else, but I can't hear Tiffany.
Nope, can't hear you.
Oh, there we go. There's a mute button that's like physically on this board. I hit it with my elbow.
Oh.
Anyway, so it's a pile. She wouldn't want to wake him up. She'd feel too bad about that. So she'd like kind of get up and then be like, "Oh wait," and then like sink back down and whisper, "What's the plan? We're gonna go back out?"
And unless we go through these tunnels, which, if we get lost, they lead to the deepest, darkest places of the earth. And you don't want to know what's down there.
And then she kind of like looks outside. Is it warmer down there?
Not by much. The only other option is to go over the mountain.
Well,
If we have the strength.
I feel like she'd... Well, I mean, if we're topside, where are we going? What's the real question? Where are we trying to go?
On the other side of the mountain, I think there'll be trees, tundra, animals, somewhere I'm more used to. Maybe
Alright.
even people.
Okay, so we're trying to find civilization somewhere.
The end goal. But yes. For now, we need to live.
We don't know what's down in the caves. Well, we know that there's angry fairy things. She kind of like looks around to see if there's any about. Oh, no.
That's not as bad as it
You don't
gets,
see any.
not by far. At least from what I've heard. Just only been stories. I didn't even know these places were real.
Well, I mean, this is really my only concern. We can go outside, and we can, face the elements again. And then she kind of like looks down at the like cuddle puddle. I don't know if they can handle it. And then she like looks at the cave, but we have no idea what's coming out of that cave.
I mean, what are the odds that we just get lucky and end up on the other side? There's got to be some sort of chance, right?
Well, what do you think we should do?
I don't know. I'm out of my element. I have been for days. Stretched thin, I think.
And she'll look over at, well, I guess we'll just have to vote over it.
Wait for everyone else to leave.
Yeah. Weigh the options. So she'll just wait for Vesryn to get up.
Vesryn wakes up after a while.
Hello. Yes, well, you guys are all awake. Eslov, are you feeling much better, my friend?
Much better. Maybe is a bit of a mistake.
Well, are you coherent at this point?
I feel like myself tired. I've heard
Yes.
that's not what I've been like for the past few days, though.
Well, it's good to see you not talking in tongues now. That is an upside.
What was I saying?
Honestly, it was just rambling words.
A lot of muttering, sometimes you talk. Mostly, we gotta find trees, or we gotta find food.
Where was I wrong?
I mean, no, but...
We were trying to find wood when we had wood.
Yeah, there's that. You're not exactly.
And now we don't have. So I'm
Yeah, but then we could have. Then we would have to carry.
I'm
I mean, we
teasing.
didn't have any wood out there.
Cerridwen, it's okay. It's okay. I'm sorry. Maybe now
It's fine. It's fine. It's very stressful. Just like.
All right. So, do we have a plan? What's our situation now that Eslov is coherent?
We have a crossroads.
Go over the mountain or under the mountain.
We have to find something. We have to find food. We have to find trees. We have to find, hopefully, people.
I don't see how we could really go over the mountains. We don't have any type of climbing gear or anything. I mean, that's a huge risk for people that are already fighting hypothermia and frostbite.
And there's goat trails that go. It follow those, but it would still take days, and it's exposing ourselves to.
We don't have any more firewood. Do you think perhaps Captain Amari might know more about where we are in relation to where her ship went down? Maybe she knows if there's any coastal cities on this side, so we don't have to go through the mountains. I mean, before we go trekking into the Underdark or over the mountains.
Is Amari around? Is she awake?
Yeah.
She's asleep, but she's there.
Because I see one of three options. If Amari knows generally where we are, we might be able to find a city on this side. If not, then I think our best bet would be to go through the mountain, not over it. Less wind, less dangers of freezing to death outside.
I think that's the best idea.
I don't like going into the dark. Several of
Yeah,
you can't even
I mean-
see in the dark.
I hate the dark.
And then do we have a way of illuminating the dark? Because we could, if we go through the mountain, then we could go days in the dark just wandering around.
Well, I still have to do my spells this morning. I might be able to do something about that.
Eslov shrugs.
I might be able to do something, like a light spell or something. But I'd have to sacrifice something else that might come in handy.
Yep. You'd have to sacrifice something else that you may want later. Who knows?
So,
I don't have my lantern, and we don't want to waste wood on just light.
no, I
But-
agree.
I just. It might be worth it just to not have to face the elements all the time. And to constantly find shelter. If we can find a way to light ourselves through this mountain.
Well, I think I'll prepare. I'll go through my spells and prepare a spell that we might be useful. And we'll just wait for Amari to wake up to make that final decision. To see if she knows generally where we're at, or if we should just... I don't think they'll make it off the mountain. And I'm not quite sure we all will either. So... rock in a hard place.
Yeah.
And
The issue is that going over is almost a definite death sentence. Going
Yeah.
under is, the chances are, I have no idea.
Well, if we die in the Underdark, it'd probably be more to what we fight rather than the elements. We're going over those mountains.
Yeah.
We're going to be having to deal with climb checks on icy mountainsides and the weather with no firewood, no food, and yeah.
That's to be good.
you have food.
It's almost a guarantee.
Yeah. We have some food, but I just mean like it's going to be rough.
No way of cooking it. Not without fire. Not everyone can eat it raw.
Right.
We'll wait for Omari to wake up.
Omari wakes up after a little bit longer. I see that my warmth has left the bed. Morning.
Good morning. We're trying to decide what we should do. We are a little bit at an impasse, and we are hoping that you might have more knowledge.
Impasse on what?
The best course of action of where to go from here. I know that you guys were pushing the boat north. Do you have an idea of where we might have landed roughly on the shores?
We were
Is there a
pushed
city nearby?
We were pushed north and east of Kyvan by the storm. I didn't realize we were pushed so far north, though. My guess is we're somewhere between Windtog and Krabben. Eslov's been to Krabben. If that might be beneficial. That's to the east, probably, would be my guess. But I'm not 100% on that.
So, and either one of you, please step in if I'm misspeaking. But we are trying to decide if we should try to make it towards the city, Krabben, or go under the mountain here, or go over the mountain into the Blue Ways. You and Jacobo have as much vote on this as well. So,
I've never gone through the mountains. I've never been in the Blue Waste except on the few cities I've been at. I'm out of my element here, too.
Well, it comes down to this. Do we want to risk traveling under and facing God knows what? Traveling over, maybe dying to the weather or a terrible fall, or trying to trek through the wasteland here to Krabben?
And fight the elements for soul.
We almost
Sure.
died just getting to the mountains from the elements.
Yes, but
The only way
there were complications with
some did die.
But to be
That's
fair, we
true.
were dealing with the water and other complications as well. Is there trees? If we head towards Krabben, is there trees between here and there?
There would be on the other side of the mountain, I would guess, but Eslov would be more of an expert on that.
Because I'm looking at the map here. I'm just trying to get an idea where we're at. It does look like there's a giant forest between here, but I'm not sure.
Yeah,
That's
you're
what
not
I'm
sure where you are.
Yeah.
I don't know if Vesryn.
No, I'm saying I'm looking, but Vesryn wouldn't know this. This is why Vesryn's asking.
I doubt
Yeah.
Eslov. He doesn't
Yeah.
know the geography.
Well, it's a toss-up.
Are we ready to put it to a vote?
So from the Cleric spell list, there is a spell called Continual Flame that lets you basically make a torch, and its duration is until it's dispelled. Are we since he has like a spell focus, right, which is his holy symbol. So would he need the 50 gold pieces of ruby dust?
No.
Okay. So
you do like consumed them? Sorry.
So he could do that. He would just need to have Morcant trade out his second level spell slot. He's just not here.
Well, I can cast light cantrip as well.
Okay. Then we won't worry about that.
I can do nothing.
But the light, though, doesn't create any warmth.
No, but I don't think Continual Flame does either.
No, it doesn't.
It doesn't?
No.
It's just a light source.
Oh.
It's basically the torch that you can run your hand through, you know?
Oh, yeah. Hold on. I thought it did.
I mean,
Brightness brings to the torch forth from an object that you touch. The effect looks like a regular flame, but it creates no heat and doesn't use oxygen.
Yeah, no heat. There it is.
It can be covered or hidden, but not smothered or quenched.
So either one could give you light. Both of them could give you light. Different
I'll
ways.
tell you this. My vote is not for over the mountains. I'm fine with either going under or looking for a way to Craven from here.
I don't want to go over the mountain. That's a death sentence,
No.
no matter what.
I vote we go under.
I say under.
Morcant would say probably under also. And Omari says, I'm with the rest of the party. I don't think we could make it over.
Vesryn is hesitant, and it matters not what I vote, since we are going under at this point. Enough votes in that direction. So.
Yeah.
You could always just make your way yourself.
No. That is a death sentence in itself as well. And I would not leave my comrades. Whatever we face together.
Well, we've gotten some rest.
I really do.
Yes.
Are we good going?
We've had some rest. We're not going to get more firewood from behind us. We should probably not tarry here very long.
I can cast light on something if we want to. Whoever's going to take the lead. Or whoever needs a light source. But whoever's going to take the lead should have the light source. So.
I mean, are we trying to be sneaky, or are we just walking?
Well, I mean, Amari's a human, right?
Omari's not a human. She's a Kalishtar.
I don't know if Kalishtar is... Well, they still look human to me. Unless she tells me she's a Kalishtar, she's a human. As far as I can tell.
Yeah, that's true. They do look human.
And Jacobo?
Jacobo's a human.
Okay, so I know that, as far as I know, there's two humans, and I know both of you cannot see in the dark. So the only two people that can see in the dark are me and Morcant. So
Morcant take the lead.
My
He's
point.
18
I was going to say...
My point would be is, if we're traveling, it's going to be hard to see in the dark because it's going to get like pitch black probably.
Yeah.
We're going to have a light source. It really won't be sneaking as a real possibility unless you want to trip and fall into a pit.
Okay, yeah. Okay, but we put Morcant in the lead since he can see.
Do that.
And he's an 18 armor class.
Oh, well, he's not really wearing that armor anymore because that was lost in the... No.
Okay.
Well, he wasn't wearing it when he was up on the deck fighting?
Would he have had time to put it on? I mean, you were on the ship for a while. I don't think he would have had it on. I mean, we'll talk to him next week. Maybe he would have had it.
Yeah, I sleep with my armor up.
No.
I mean, most people on the ocean don't wander around with armor on. It's too dangerous. You fall overboard, and you're dead. You know.
That's what he gets for not investing in cast armor.
Maybe you guys should have got him that wooden armor.
All right.
It could float, maybe.
Now we could use a paper.
Yeah,
Well,
cobalt
but
paper.
they want to be salty about it.
How much wood do we have left?
Probably a quarter.
One more fire.
Probably a quarter of the boat is left. You know.
Maybe enough for like 1 or 2 more nights.
Definitely not for 2 nights. Maybe one night and part of the night at most.
Oh, bundle up what do we have then?
Jacobo can carry. I don't really know if he's going to be handy in an actual fight.
Here, we'll keep you in the middle. We're just gonna pad Jacopo and who knows? Maybe the wood will protect you a little bit. But I can carry some wood too.
Vesryn can stand at the back.
Okay.
Because I also have dark vision. That way we have dark vision on the front and the back.
Yeah. Sounds good.
All right. And everybody gathers their stuff up. And Morcant's like, then we should go. Because he would not wait around very long. And this is where we'll break.
Going into the Underdark.
Yeah, this is not where I thought this was gonna go at all. I'm digging it, but wow, not expecting this.
Yeah, just you know, I mean, that you shouldn't crash your boats.
Vesryn's terrified. Morgan's excited.
So it's our fault, then, Scott, is it?
What?
It's our fault, then, is it?
No.
Technically, it's Captain Amari's fault, so it's still technically Scott's fault because a good captain would know that she couldn't have outrun that storm. Just saying.
Well, she did know
She
that.
rushed us.
She
She even had a warning from that tarot reader.
She has a great hubris about her, I think.
It's still Scott's fault.
Sadly, she's still alive somehow. But...
Yeah, right?
Oh, I'm glad she's still alive. I'm already like,
I know.
Rubasardi said, somewhere there, that kobold is laughing in wooden armor.
That just means that she has to die in a way that has more dramatic potential for you, Eslov. That's all it means.
why would you say that? Why would you say that?
Why would you do that?
You
know, when word gets back, everybody on the island's going to think we're all dead.
Yeah, we're going to have to send word that we're not dead.
That would not be the first time ever.
Yeah.
Yeah,
True.
not the first time we've all gone missing.
Oddly enough, that's a rumor that tends to stick to us several times for some reason.
Yeah, I'm excited to go to the Underdark.
I know. Like I said, Morgan's excited. Vesryn is terrified. He's like, here.
Well,
I mean, Eslov has only heard stories of what happens in
yeah, the demon caves. They're always a good place to head.
Great place to go.
I mean, it's called that. I'm sure it's called that for a reason.
All right. Thank you, everybody. We will see you next week when we venture into the darkness.
Thanks for watching.
Thank you.
Perfect place.
Can I cast magic missile at the darkness?
Bye.
Bye.
Have a good night, guys.
Good night.
Sorry, I had to end on that bad darkness joke. I cast magic missile at what? The darkness.
I had like 4 hours of sleep last night. I woke up at 3:30 for no reason.